Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 18 of the 21-day series of the TD Solutions. My name is Terry Dillon. We're working in over 500 clubs and growing and across 12 sports. And we're here to provide some really healthy tips to help your community club. And this is very much on the home straight. 3 days to go after today, but hopefully I've been receiving some great feedback from all those that have been. My little stand is falling down, so hopefully you're getting some great tips. Today we're going to talk about grants, and it's often a significantly reduced or missed opportunity for many clubs that I deal with around the country. Typically clubs, when I talk about grants, I'm talking about the rats and mice grants, the $0 to $5,000, $0 to $10,000 type grants, and most of my clubs are, they're generating anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000 from these type grants, and there's a real structure to it that clubs don't have in place. But if they did have in place, then it could make their world a lot easier. So typically it's usually the responsibility of the treasurer or the secretary or even sometimes the president where they're writing these grants. And they often wearing 5 or 6 hats at the same time, and so they're missing out on that strong 5-figure sum that could help their club. And it's often, as I said, it's sort of the difference sometimes between the clubs making a profit or not. And typically these funding are for resources you're already spending at your club regardless. So very much a missed opportunity. Often I'm finding with clubs they don't know what grants are out there. If they do know they're out there, they often don't have the time to write them or even the expertise to write them. So these are the rats and mice grants, and it's basically normal, raising funds for your club that is funding ordinary course of your business. So, typically with clubs, I see that there's an ad hoc process in applying for grants. They're often rushed. They don't get the attention they need or the attention they deserve. Believe me, there are many grants out there, and clubs just don't know they're out there. So, I talked about during the series how the traditional revenue model that clubs are adopting is not working, and most clubs are using the same revenue model as 40 years ago, and this is such a missed opportunity. Believe me, there are dollars out there. For example, for my local club, we have 2 people who aren't on the committee. They're former presidents of our junior club, and one's of our senior club for 1 year, and that's their role. They do not come to our games. They're not really at training, maybe intermittently, but very rarely see them. But they are still contributing to our club by applying for grants on our behalf. Very organised individuals. As I said, a couple of the key themes from that I promoted during this series and my book, which is coming out next week. I'm really excited about that. Lots of work have gone into there, but you don't have to be on the committee to help. There's a real misconception at Clubland you have to be on the committee to help. A lot of people don't want to go on a committee, but they may be able to do these 1 or 2 key things that make a big difference to the 3 or 4 people who are typically doing 90% of the work. They track these grants on a software called granttracker.com. Really simple process, great summary that our executive sees on a monthly basis. It's such a missed opportunity. It's about the structure, if you particularly for some tips, for example, the SRV grant closed last week, $2,000. I think I had 80 clubs apply for that. There's other type grants, and I know there's local councils that provide these grants as well, and clubs just don't know they're out there. So if you wish to explore more, send us some information. We're happy to assist you in that regard. Also, the grants often require sometimes a bit of a strategic plan to help your club. So those clubs that are using our workshop, those 3-hour workshops we talked about, we provide a 2-page strategic plan that can be used for when you apply for your small grants, the rats and mice grants, or the bigger capital grants. And basically it shows to the funding body that you are structured, that you are organised, and you do have a plan for the future. We talked about the traditional revenue model not working. We have particularly in Victoria, we have a guy who actually writes our grants for the clubs around Victoria. And he gets a clip of the ticket. Not when I say clip of the ticket, it has to come out of consolidated revenue, can't come out of the grant, but the clubs are getting a far better success rate because they don't have the time or the expertise and sometimes the energy to pull it all together. So particularly for the Victorian clubs, there's other bodies around the country that writes grants for clubs in this circumstance, and it's something you really need to explore. Grants is a great opportunity. It can, as I said earlier, it can be the difference between clubs making a profit or not. And there's funding out there, good, strong 5-figure sums for stuff, as I said, you're spending on your normal course of business regardless. So hopefully you got some good tips out of today. Day 18, that's finished. I'm actually off to a Coral Inn, my executive meeting at 9:30, so we're on my way there now. We're doing some planning for the coming season. We had our planning day last Saturday. Now we're following up on some of those things we decided. I think we had about nearly 30 people at our session last week, which is outstanding. Hope you got some benefit out of today. This little thing is sliding down again. Please feel free to share this video to anyone who's linked to clubs that you think this may be a benefit to. Hope you have a great weekend, and I think we're due some rain today, so we're pretty excited about that because things are pretty dry, and we're looking forward to our weekend. So take care and have a great weekend. Cheers.